The sinking of the RMS Titanic remains one of the most tragic and well-documented maritime disasters in history. On the night of April 14, 1912, the unsinkable ship struck an iceberg in the North Atlantic and sank within hours, claiming the lives of more than 1,500 people. This disaster not only highlighted the dangers of overconfidence in technology, but also exposed deep class divides in early 20th century society. The Titanic's sinking has been the subject of countless books, films, and investigations, ensuring its legacy endures over a century later. The construction and launch of Titanic. The RMS Titanic was built by Harland and Wolff Shipyard in Belfast, Northern Ireland, for the White Star Line. Designed to be the most luxurious and largest ship of its time, Titanic measured 882 feet long and featured state-of-the-art amenities, including opulent first-class cabins, grand dining halls, and even a swimming pool. Launched on May 31, 1911, Titanic was touted as practically unsinkable due to its advanced compartmentalized hull system. However, the ship lacked enough lifeboats for all passengers, a fatal flaw that would have catastrophic consequences. Setting sail. The journey begins. Titanic set sail on its maiden voyage from Southampton, England on April 10, 1912. It carried 2,224 passengers and crew, including some of the wealthiest and most influential figures of the time, such as business magnate John Jacob Astor IV and the unsinkable Molly Brown. The ship also carried many immigrants seeking a new life in America, packed into the less glamorous third-class accommodations. The ship made stops in Cherbourg, France, and Queenstown, now Cove, Ireland, before heading westward across the Atlantic toward New York City. Despite ice warnings received from other ships along the route, the Titanic maintained near full speed, a decision that would later prove disastrous. The collision with the iceberg. On the night of April 14, 1912, at 11:40 p.m., the Titanic struck an iceberg about 400 miles south of Newfoundland. The iceberg scraped along the starboard side of the ship, puncturing several of the watertight compartments. Initially, many on board were unaware of the severity of the damage. However, as water began flooding the lower decks, it became clear that the ship was doomed. Despite its reinforced hull, the Titanic was designed to stay afloat with only 4 compartments breached. The iceberg had damaged 6. As the bow began to sink, panic spread among passengers and crew. Captain Edward Smith and his officers attempted to maintain order, but the lack of lifeboats made evacuation chaotic and tragic. The evacuation and class divide. The Titanic carried only 20 lifeboats, enough for roughly half of those on board. The women and children first policy was enforced, but with limited space and confusion, many lifeboats were launched half full. First-class passengers had better access to lifeboats, while third-class passengers, many trapped below deck, faced much lower survival rates. Some notable survivors included Molly Brown, who helped row her lifeboat to safety, and Second Officer Charles Littler, who enforced evacuation procedures and survived by clinging to an overturned collapsible lifeboat. Others, such as John Jacob Astor IV, Isidore and Ida Strauss, owners of Macy's department store, and Thomas Andrews, Titanic's chief designer, perished with the ship. As the stern of the Titanic rose out of the water, the ship eventually broke in two before sinking completely at 2:20 a.m. on April 15th. Those left in the freezing Atlantic waters faced near-certain death from hypothermia. The RMS Carpathia, having received the distress call, arrived around 4 a.m. and rescued approximately 710 survivors. The tragedy shocked the world, leading to major changes in maritime laws, including stricter lifeboat requirements and improved ice patrol systems. The Titanic remains a powerful symbol of human ambition and tragedy, reminding us of the importance of safety over hubris. More than a century later, the shipwreck, discovered in 1985, continues to be explored, offering new insights into the disaster and the people who lived and died on board. The story of the Titanic is more than just a tale of a ship sinking. It is a story of human courage, societal flaws, and the hubris of technological overconfidence. The loss of over 1,500 lives serves as a stark reminder of the importance of preparedness and respect for nature's power. The legacy of the Titanic and its passengers endures, ensuring that the lessons learned from this disaster are never forgotten.